Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Story Time. In this video, we're going to take a look at the malicious compliance subreddit. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on future episodes. But for now, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy some funny Reddit stories. There was a day when I was taking a shower while I was home for spring break. After watching a movie with the family, I turned on the shower, and to my surprise, I was interrupted by an angry voice. My teenage sister was begging to use the bathroom, and after some disagreements, I finally let her use it. Soon after, she came out complaining that I should have warned her before taking a shower. As a college student, I had an irregular sleep schedule, so one night, I started getting ready for bed around 1 a.m. However, my sister was already in bed since she had classes the next day. Before getting into the shower, I loudly announced that I was about to use it, as per her earlier request. A little later, while working as a quality control manager at a Korean car manufacturer, I had to deal with recurring issues with a machine. The boss, who was also Korean and had difficulty with English, instructed me to carry out inspections while he explained the process verbally. This was crucial to ensure the quality of the parts, which were vital for car assembly. These parts were welded by robots, and if the welds were not properly maintained, they could break under a small amount of force. This was a nightmare, considering that these parts were critical for car safety. However, the boss didn't want to deal with the problem and decided to ignore it. One day, while making my rounds and checking the quality of the parts, the machine operator flagged me down for some issues with the welds. After conducting a quality test, it became evident that the situation was dire, with 5 out of 8 welds failing. We shut down the machine and called the boss to address the situation. I brought the defective parts to the office and showed them to him, explaining that the operator had produced about 200 of them that day. This was a major issue, as the machine could easily produce 1,500 parts per day. We decided to perform a random test on 50 pieces to check the quality and resolve the problem as quickly as possible. Despite communication difficulties due to the boss's accent, he guided me on how to conduct the test. After testing the parts, it was clear that the situation was serious, and the machine was producing defective parts every day. We discussed the situation for a while, but the boss didn't want to address the problem and decided to leave the machine as it was. This specific part was crucial for all assembled cars and couldn't be replaced after assembly. The consequence of sending defective parts to the client was severe, including fines and refunds for faulty parts. However, the boss insisted on doing nothing, even though he was aware of the consequences. The machine continued to operate improperly for 3 days, producing nearly 9,000 pieces, most of which were suspected to be defective. However, I wasn't allowed to inspect any of them. On the 4th day, the machine burned out a circuit board and stopped functioning. We had already sent the 9,000 defective parts to the client. When the client discovered the defective parts in their warehouse and realized they had already assembled about 100 cars with those parts, it became a major issue. The boss tried to blame the team, but we reminded him that he had forbidden us from doing anything about the machine. He was reprimanded by the client's CEO and had to pay a bill of over $300,000 for scrapped cars and defective parts, as well as fines. It was a relief that the client had checked the parts, as it ensured safety on the roads. However, the episode was a major problem for the company. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed the stories. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments. See you tomorrow.